so let's just say, someone's, got into the realm of Tantra, and let's just say they've got a partner, because Tantra is quite a powerful thing, and it's a very interesting thing in a relationship. How does one in a relationship, how does one practice Tantra? Like, what's the best way? Is it best to go, like to say, okay, let's not have sex for say a month, and like practice the energetic techniques and come together, or can people do that, have sex, and whilst exploring Tantra?
It's like one of the answer to one of the earlier questions. It's different for a man and for a woman. In order for a woman to engage in the real magic of Tantra, which is the circulation of sexual energy through the body, she's pretty much already ready, without any training, to start on that level of exploration. But a man isn't already ready. He needs a lot more training in order to get to entry level position. And so, if you're wanting to learn Tantra, it's a bit like trying to learn a dance. Like for example, I once went to try to learn salsa when I was 20 years ago, when I was in my 20s, and I was basically trying to learn salsa dance, with my girlfriend at the time, who didn't know and I didn't know, and so we got there, and then the teacher says, all right, now the male does this. And so the role within salsa dance is that the female receives the lead from the male. So I didn't have the knowledge of how to lead that girl through that dance. And so she wasn't really able to be completely receptive and to be led around and experience the dance, because I simply didn't have the skill. So she had to go with somebody else, which I got terribly jealous about, but it was really just having to accept that I couldn't actually help her at that time. She had to have another man show her, whilst I then had to learn with a woman who took the role of the man in, so that I could then let her lead me, so that I could learn what I have to do as a man. And then finally, after we had learned that, then I could, with my girlfriend, then take those roles. So that does take some time. So there is an analogy there. And it is kind of the same with tantric explorations with sexuality, and that is that the man has to get to a certain level of expertise before the real game begins, and that is the ability, as I said, to hold ejaculation back, but at the same time to collect the energy of the sexual arousal and to collect that orgasmic energy in the higher centers of the body. So that man needs to learn that. So it's very difficult to learn that in a couple having sex, because the arousal states or levels within that sexual intimacy is so intense. It's like asking a man to try and capture the power of a volcano when he doesn't have the ability to light a spark. So yes, by all means, if you have a partner, don't give up on having sex unless that's good for you. It is always a good thing to have breaks, or have it if that's your thing. So I'm not saying you have to give up sex, but the man has to cultivate with himself first in order to get to the stage where he can interact, where he can start the game. And I say this is something the man's got to do, because the woman, her nature is that she's kind of already there to be led through this. So I think the man has to cultivate by himself and learn how to cycle this sexual energy within himself, and then when he's at that level, then the two can embark on that journey together. And there is studies and there is stuff that both people in that partnership can learn at that point. So the answer is, you don't have to stay away from sex in order to learn it, but you do need to get yourself to a certain level within your own cultivation before it really starts happening.